All right, I'm gonna record on my end as a backup. Be at 15 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Hi, Michael. How are you today?
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So let me begin by asking you, how excited are you for It's a Wonderful Knife to be released in theaters?
I mean, I'm super excited. Also a little nervous. It's always a little scary having your work presented to people.
Mhm.
You know, it's a little scary.
Little scary, little scary. I mean, it's a
It's fun.
horror film, so
Yeah, yeah, super fun.
yes. So
Um,
the film had its world premiere at Beyond Fest on October 8th in Los Angeles. How was it received by audiences?
I thought it went really, really well. A couple of the like official reviews that came out of there were really positive.
Good.
Um, it had a really, there was some really great reactions during the movie.
Mhm.
That were unexpected with clapping and that kind of stuff. So I think we did quite a few festivals, and I also, to be honest with you, during Beyond Fest, it was the first time I had seen the movie with a crowd of people, so I might have blacked out a little bit because I was so nervous that I don't really remember. My husband had to tell me like it went well, so I was like ready to throw up the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Um, He's like, it went really well, but as I did a couple more and got a little bit more comfortable seeing with the crowd, I started realizing that it was like in Toronto, especially, we played up at Toronto After Dark
Hmm.
like a week ago, and that crowd was awesome.
Really?
Played so well. So yeah, I think it's a really communal movie,
Okay.
like most horror movies are anymore. And I'm really glad it's getting the theatrical release. So I'm really excited. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Is there anything in particular you hope audiences take away from the film?
Just the joy of it. How
Okay.
weirdly, like, even though it's a movie with a dude dressed as an angel graphically killing people, I just hope people kind of take away some joy.
Yeah.
I think the movie has like a sweetness to it too, so I think it fits really well with Christmas.
Hmm.
Uh, and I also just hope people really are like, oh, that was fun. I'm gonna watch that every year. I'm gonna
Yeah.
add it to the rotation. Like I think that would be the coolest thing. And
Yeah.
then for queer audiences, I just hope they feel really happy with like such a gay movie.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So tell us, how did the concept and idea for It's a Wonderful Knife come about?
So after Freaky came out, I sat down to write a movie and I wanted to do a Christmas movie.
Okay.
Uh, I love Christmas movies. I love horror movies. I love Christmas horror movies. So I was like looking and I was like, we don't have a ton of Christmas horror, weirdly. Like there's some, but there's not a ton.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do a Christmas slasher movie. And then I started reminiscing about Freaky. I had such a great experience on Freaky in every way, working on it, watching it be made, watching it come out, uh, creating a great friendship with Chris Landon and a partnership that we still do to this day. We don't work on everything together, but we do work on stuff together still.
Hmm.
And I started thinking about that. And I was like, what if I kind of packaged my slasher movie, my Christmas slasher movie, in kind of the same way?
Yeah.
And I started thinking about It's a Wonderful Life. And I was like, that is actually really dark. It has like a very, really relevant social context to it today.
Yeah.
Even though it was made 80 years ago with just capitalism and rich assholes taking over everything. And I was like, that makes a really cool into a new story.
Hmm.
So that's kind of what I kind of sat down to do. And when I started finding my story in that story, I really realized I had something interesting that I felt like, my biggest fear in doing it was that I was repeating myself, that I was kind of just taking what I did with Freaky and doing it again with another movie. But
Yeah.
I found myself in a weird way, there was a little bit more of a mature angle to it, for lack of a better word, with just like what the killer is doing. And also just it also gave me the opportunity to use what I learned on the last movie and be vocal as a producer and
Hmm.
really go, okay, well, this last movie had like a queerness to it, and there was a queer character, and there was like identity conversations. Well, this movie is going to have 100 million zillion queer characters, and we're going to love it.
Yeah. Love it. Love it.
Yeah,
So It's a Wonderful Knife stars a Jane Widdop. Is that how you pronounce the
Jane
last?
Widdop. Yep.
Yeah, Jane Widdop, Joel McHale, Catherine Isabel, and Justin Long.
Yeah.
So what made them the perfect cast, and what was it like to watch them play these characters?
Jane had a great tape. They were on a list of people we were interested in, and they submitted an audition tape, and their tape was just so good. They immediately were the character. Like all the other producers and the directors agreed. And then Joel was involved in the project pretty early. He signed on even without reading the script to play her dad. And we kind of pitched it to him as like, you get to play like a different version of a character that you're not normally usually playing. Like everyone expects you to be the comedian. Here's a little bit more of a dramatic angle. Catherine was Tyler's first choice for Gail. And thankfully she did a read that we all loved. And then Justin was our last person cast on the movie. That was a really hard role to cast. Waters kept changing. One point in the beginning, it was a 6-year-old man, and then we made the character like a 50-year-old woman, and then it was a 55, like it just kept going back. And then I had a late realization, like once we cast Sean Deppner, who plays his little brother in the movie, we cast him as the role was a 20-year-old who was the boyfriend of Evelyn Waters when the villain was a woman.
Okay.
Cast Sean, I was like, he looks 30. What if we went back to Evelyn being Henry and made him Henry's little brother, and Henry was like my age, I'm 43. And that's when someone was like, what if we did that and got Justin Long? So that's kind of how that came about. And it was really fun. Like they really all inhabited their roles. They, between myself, the other producers, and Tyler, we had a really open collaboration. And it was like, what do you see in this character and what can you bring to the character? And please bring all that to it. Like Justin came up with his own look.
Okay.
Including the teeth and all that shit. So like his weirdness was all him. So it was really exciting. It's always so fascinating to me to watch actors work based off something on a piece of paper.
Definitely.
Sometimes you go, oh, that's not the way I envisioned it. It feels a little weird hearing them interpret it in a way that you might not have heard in your head, but it's almost always better.
Yeah.
Bring this life to it, and like finding these quirks and making an unfunny line funny and making a funny line serious and in a better, it's just like really fascinating to watch. But like, and then I have to specifically say Joel McHale is like the nicest man in the world.
Is he?
He's so great. And he was such a father figure to the teen cast that he really set a great example. And that was probably my favorite thing to watch on the movie. It was just like this veteran who really doesn't need to work. Just come in and really set an amazing tone for everybody.
Awesome.
So that was really cool.
Good. Love it.
Yeah.
And you have Tyler MacIntyre directing.
Yeah.
Would you say he did justice by bringing your vision to life?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we talked before we even hired him to direct the movie. We talked about Tragedy Girls a lot, quite frankly. One of his last movies, and we talked about just like that kind of tone was kind of similar to what we were looking to do with It's a Wonderful Knife. So we kind of were just like, well, what if we got him? And the thing with him is he has really great ideas, but he's also really open to suggestions. So he like created a really collaborative
good
where the actors felt comfortable changing stuff or asking to change stuff or asking to try stuff, and Tyler was always game. So it was really fun.
Awesome. Very nice.
Yeah.
So something I really like about this film is that you immediately know who the killer is, and that's not common in a lot of slasher films. What led to this creative decision?
I knew if you were going to do an It's a Wonderful Life kind of template, you had to reveal the killer early on. It just wouldn't make sense if you didn't. Because for me, the ultimate act that she would take that would kind of start her trauma, for lack of a better word, or her like feeling guilty a year later, was that she actually killed somebody, even if they were a bad person. And I was like, you can't kill somebody without revealing who they are. But I also thought then that it gave me a fun opportunity to kind of upend what has become like kind of a genre staple of like an opening kill sequence, and revealing the killer and killing them in that sequence. So I thought it was like kind of a fun play on like a modern trope. So like I also think it's just really fun that like the first 20 minutes almost play like its own little slasher movie. So yeah, that was fun. And I think it makes the audience feel, I hope it makes the audience feel a little bit like kind of like off center.
Okay.
Like what they expect then,
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
So you said that there aren't that many holiday horror films. What are some holiday classics you would love to see have a horror take on?
Oh God. Christmas Story could be fun.
Okay, yeah.
Christmas Carol. I mean, he gets visited by like 3 ghosts. That's scary. Um, yeah, and then all my other favorite Christmas classics are horror movies.
Okay, okay.
So they already got their, like Black Christmas, wonderful movie.
Yeah, yeah, very,
Uh,
very
you
true.
know,
Maybe
um,
maybe a more scary take on Home Alone.
that could be interesting too. Better Watch Out kind of did that. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Yes, I
Uh,
have. Yes.
yeah, kind of got that vibe, but maybe a more like serious take, I guess, could be
Yeah.
interesting with Home Alone. Or
Yeah,
also
definitely.
what a kid at Home Alone does, but then he realizes, you know, what he thinks he's going to Macaulay Culkin, he actually ends up killing the robbers right away because they get hit with hands,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he's like, oh fuck, I just killed two people. That could be interesting.
Definitely. There's so many that could be turned into horror films, and I would love to see it at some point.
Exactly.
Yes. All right, Michael, how can one stay up to date with you the best?
Um, Instagram, Michael TJ Kennedy.
Okay, okay, perfect.
I have pics of my dog and weird clips from horror movies.
Okay, that's all we need. That's all we need. So
Yes.
It's a Wonderful Knife comes out November. What's the date again? November.
Next Friday.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Eh,
Theaters nationwide.
Awesome. All right, then before we wrap up, are there any other upcoming projects or anything else you would like to mention or plug at this time?
I wish I could, but I can't. There's some stuff in the works, but I can't tell you what yet. But
Okay,
there's some really good stuff.
okay. So we'll keep a lookout.
Thank you, Denny.
Thank you.